Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick and Ryan Gerdes. It is Friday. It is story time. You're going to want to text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. That's story to 623-AZ-RECON, or simply put the word story in the comment section, and we'll connect with you. All right, it's Friday, so every Friday we go around and talk about stories and individual experiences that we've had with our clients and more importantly, our podcast listeners. So I think it's Justin's turn to go first.
Cool. Okay. All right. So I actually got another good one from a new build. Deal was turned down from a new build. Agent called. This individual belongs to a Native American tribe in Colorado. And buying a second home down here. Well, she is 54 years old, and in her tribe, you have youth, adults, and elders, and they get paid out by the tribe based on what the tribe collects in casinos. And so she's on a set amount right now as an adult. She turns to be an elder next year. She's so 55. She'll be an elder.
Dude, I'm almost an elder then.
Yeah, you are.
I'm getting close, boys. We're getting real close.
Yeah, but your income goes down and your expenses go up if you're not in the tribe.
Yeah. So they will not supply her any documentation on what her income will be, or even is the money that she's going to get going to continue. So the way that mortgage lending works is you have to have a 3-year continuance of income or a likelihood of it to continue. So the new build turned her down because she had 1 year left of income. And I called my underwriter, is like, hey, it says on their website that they switch from adult to elder. They will not supply any documentation because in case of death, they cannot supply that information, or they will not. And my underwriter's like, let me call them. And they said, no, we will not supply you any information, but she is going to be paid when she's an elder, if she makes it to be an elder. And my underwriter did an underwriter cert, and we're approved as of today.
Kidding.
So
I've never heard of an underwriter just go base anything off verbal communication.
Yeah, so it's an underwriter cert. We can do processor certs for certain things too, but it's you don't get this very often. I think this is the second time in my 18 years that I have seen an underwriter sign off on a cert, but it was super easy. The borrower was frustrated when she came over. She was frustrated having the conversation, didn't think it was a possibility based on being turned down by another lender, and she thought everybody was going to be the same. So very cool. And we actually ended up getting her the same interest rate, even though rates had gone up. So pretty cool that we were able to do that for her.
Good one.
That's really good, dude.
Yeah.
So I get a phone call yesterday morning from a good buddy of mine. He and I have literally known each other since first grade, played Little League together. And it's just, it's one of those bonds that just doesn't break. And so we've been super tight over all these years, and I've helped him and his whole family generate wealth through real estate for the past 20 years. So I get a phone call from him, and he says, yeah, my nephew, he's been kicking around buying a home. He's sick and tired of throwing away rent money. And would you mind meeting up with them? And I said, well, of course. And he said, well, what does it look like? And I was like, actually, tonight I'm pretty open, meaning last night. And so
because his wife's in Alaska, Ryan is free
every night.
Ryan's pulling us all in too.
I actually sent Ryan a Happy Mother's Day GIF on Sunday because he was sitting there by himself.
Dude,
it's the best Mother's Day ever.
Yeah, I called it Father's Day. So we went out and had a couple of cocktails over at Zips, So if you're not familiar with the area, it's kind of like a local chain sports bar. Sat down, had a couple of cocktails at Zips, and he commences to tell me about his career in the Navy and how he was a nuclear engineer on a submarine for 10 years, just working with reactors and whatnot. and all of his schooling and how he's going off to graduate school for engineering, and he wants to basically revolutionize the way that greenhouse and agricultural technology is approached these days. And I mean, this dude is just a walking encyclopedia, super intelligent dude. And I'm over here like, man, like you look like you're about 24 years old. Well, I mean, he's a little bit older than that, but he got started very young, and so I know his father, and he works for the Department of Defense, and he's like does a bunch of undercover ops and whatnot. He's been doing that for years, so it wasn't hard to see how the apple didn't fall far from the tree, because this kid is super intelligent. So we have our work cut out for us. He's probably going to ask us 10,000 questions that I'm going to be like, you're going to have
talk to Justin.
Talk to Mike. Talk to Justin. But anyhow, after about 5 minutes on the phone with Justin, he immediately got pre-approved, and so we're going to go out shopping for him and get him something next to campus so that he can not only have some place to live in, but use it as future wealth building. So
well, if he spent that much time on a nuclear sub, I think he'd be a good candidate for a tiny home. He doesn't need a lot of space. He's used to living in very confined,
tight quarters.
Yeah.
He is very intelligent, and he understood a lot of the things that I was saying over the phone. So,
well, let's just keep him away from me then.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I will blow up the deal.
I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks, buddy. You're going to have to sharpen up.
My story is new build related. We have been, and we've been telling all of our podcast listeners, you do need to text the word story to 623 AZ Recon, or put story in the comment section. We're getting tremendous amount of deals from builders, and the reason that you want to use us and not walk in without representation, because most agents aren't aware or lack the skill and understand that just because the builders have a price or seller concessions on a piece of paper doesn't necessarily mean that's the final deal. So anyway, so we have an investor on a new build. And so today, and typically when you buy a new build, you go through as a homeowner 2 orientations or 2 walkthroughs, and so you do the first one, and they show you all the appliances and all that crap, and then you walk in and say, hey, you need to touch up here, and this is wrong, and so forth. But one of the things that we do is we always have our buyers hire Anthony at HCP Inspections. It is imperative, in my opinion, to get a home inspection on a new build. And because they are looking for things that we just don't. We're not bringing our drones and flying over the roof, and we're not jumping up in the attic and looking at things that we just don't normally see. And so I just say our client was so appreciative, because what Anthony was able to pick out and note, and knowing that when we showed up today, it was already blue taped. And then Ryan and I, oh man, I don't know. I mean, I remember when I started with new builds 20 plus years ago. I was joking with the on-site supervisor of how he's got to hate agents. But when I got started, I was really excited, man. I would come in with my my outlet, checker to make sure that, the wires are crossed. I had all the different.
He knows how to use one of those.
Yeah,
I didn't.
He just brought in a cell phone charger.
And I'd come in with all the different colors of tape, and I got excited. I really took the job really serious. But just walking him through and catching things that he would never have noticed and would have ended up buying this house. And yeah, the builder will eventually fix things, but man, you want to get the builder to do these things before they get their money, because once they get their money, it's really hard. So he was really appreciative of our expertise and our skill set, and we found a lot of things, and the house is in great shape.
And there are some elements of it that they won't come back and fix if you've already closed on it. Notably, the countertops and then some drywall work, and that's pretty common that you're going to find nicks and dings and stuff like that. So
you remember Bull?
Yeah, of course.
So he was my when I did my F-16 ride, he was my pilot.
Okay.
And we sold him a new build years ago at Marley Park, and we were wrapping up, and we're just all standing around the kitchen. We're literally getting ready to walk out, and I just had the right angle to see this incredibly long scratch on the dishwasher. If you walked around, you wouldn't see it. The lighting was right and so forth. And to Ryan's point, if you called up a week after close of escrow, they would be like, you did that, and
Right.
and we got him a brand new dishwasher.
Perfect.
All right. If you want to be part of our story, go ahead and text the word story to 623-AZ Recon or put the word story in the comments section. It is Friday. What are we recommending to our listeners?
Well, so earlier we were speaking with your son Q about getting back from Japan, and normally I'm trying to avoid the food topics because I know that you've got that in spades. But we are going to go with the best Japanese restaurant.
You go.
All right. Boy, believe it or not, I'm not very creative because any of the mom and pop shops, I have no idea what the names are. But I love Teppin Grills. I freaking love that fried rice. I love the whole choo-choo train thing. I get all into it. I flip and love
Volcano?
it. I love the ginger sauce. The volcano, and I love all of that. And so we have a few out here, and I know there's multiple locations, but out here you're either going to Oso or Benihana, and I will take Oso all day long.
I mean, Aso, right?
Also.
That too.
Okay.
Well, Oso's
Oso's the
the
brewery.
brewery. I go there too.
Hey, they both sell beer. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. and I am.
Damn it, Bobby.
Dude, and I don't know why. I don't know why, because you guys know I'm not a heavy beer drinker, but dude, I freaking love sake bombers.
Are you the one that does the big old and then drops it in there and makes a big ass mess, or how do you do it?
I don't bang the table.
Okay.
I'm not an ape.
Okay.
But dude, I like to drop the sake in the beer.
Okay.
And then pound it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ziggy sake.
I did that a bunch back when they
Yeah,
went
college.
back college and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now I just shoot it and then
Yeah.
chase it because I don't know, it's cleaner.
So I have two.
We're all within a half mile of your house.
They actually are. You guys are good.
You can walk there.
One's Kabuki. The service there is incredible. I love the waitresses are super fun. My wife loves them. I love them. My kids love them. They all know us when we come in there. Sushi's one of our favorites. So I like Kabuki for sushi and sushi rolls. Incredible.
How would you guys define the difference between, a sushi roll at a Japanese restaurant as opposed to a Chinese restaurant?
I think Chinese would probably go over there and rip your head off. Or Japanese would rip your head off if you thought that sushi was Japanese.
Or Chinese.
That's what I'm saying. If
If
you went to
you-
a Chinese food place and ordered a sushi roll there or called it, Chinese food, the Japanese would take offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll ask Q.
Yeah, we'll ask you.
Q. Yeah. What do you think? Would Japanese be upset if we called sushi Chinese food?
Here, probably they wouldn't care, but in Japan, oh yeah.
Yeah. So
All right. Sorry.
So second one is Aso. I mean, also teppanyaki. It's incredible. The experience is incredible. All of their teppanyaki chefs are. Is it called chef there?
yeah, why
Yeah.
wouldn't it be?
They're incredible. Great personality. The fire's incredible. Burns my eyebrows off every time.
Yeah.
My son just goes nuts over it, and so does my youngest daughter. So yeah, that's my. But I'll say this: the Aso that I like to go to, or excuse me, not the Aso. Aso that I like to go to is at 63rd Avenue and Bell Road. It's the older one. It's a kind of a mom and pop look. I love that one.
All right. Well, in true Ryan form, I'm going to give you two because, of course, one's going to be sushi related. The other one's going to be Japanese and teppanyaki. And that, I'm pretty sure it's Sapporo over there off of Scottsdale Road and Greenway or Thunderbirdish or whatever. So as far as straight up Japanese food, teppanyaki, for me, that's it. Sushi, though, you know where I'm going. Going to Akaihana, Mr. Sushi. Yeah. Well, so back in the day, it was always called Mr. Sushi. And I don't know why, but the owner decided to change the name over to Akaihana. Maybe it sounded more legit or something, but it has not changed. The prices have changed over the past 25 years, 30 years, but the quality of food is amazing. They did remodel it. It used to be just kind of like this dingy, dirty kind of hole in the wall, which I don't mind. But they realized that there was part of their clientele that wanted it to be a little bit more upscale, so they pretty much doubled the square footage, and now it's
Cool.
it's remodeled and beautiful now, right there off of I-17 in Northern. So if you're out and you're looking for a good sushi spot, it's pretty much locals only. I mean, you'll find some out of towners that just stumble in there, but for the most part, like that's where everybody from the hood goes.
I was going to say it, but I didn't want to steal your
knew.
thunder because
Yeah.
you introduced me to it. But it by far is my favorite. I mean, you don't get the Teppan grill.
Nope.
But you're right, for actual sushi, I love it.
It's amazing. So check it out.
Cool.
All right, well, check us out by texting the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. If you'd like some more information on how to build wealth in real estate and looking for real estate strategies, we'd love to have that conversation with you. Again, text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON, or you can just put story in the comments section.